Today we have just finished the first Gynecologic Tumor Board and Minimally Invasive Surgery Conference in the Kingdom. This is being done in an international fashion and a very pan-national fashion. We've had over 100 people come to our meeting. Over a third of them are from other areas other than the Jeddah area. The people who've come have been general gynecologists and specialists in gynecologic oncology, medical oncology, and radiation oncology. Through the work of Dr. Khalid Sait, the symposium was divided into two parts. The first I would call a practicum. By practicum I mean it was a workshop for teaching people how to do minimally invasive surgery. My purpose of being at that session was perhaps to talk about indications for minimally invasive surgery. The skills unit at the King Abdulaziz Hospital is perhaps one of the finest in the world. I have seen skills centers in Israel. I've seen them, the new ones built in New York. All of these have very important lessons from which people can learn. I was very grateful and very surprised to find that when I went to the skills center at King Abdulaziz Hospital, that they had training for skills, but they also had training for procedures. I think this is very unique. I thought that the diversity of applications of ways of teaching was unprecedented. I predict that this will become an integral part of medical education in the kingdom. And I think that this unit will be used as a shining example of what the best of the best can be. Today, we did one of my favorite things in the world, which is a multidisciplinary tumor board. A tumor board is a group of peers who come to discuss clinical problems. Ideally, it's done in a prospective manner. You do a biopsy, you come and talk about it, you take care of it. In this first example, Dr. Sait presented 15 cases. These cases were very well presented because the clinical outline was given, and then the question was asked, what do you do? The 100 participants each had a key, a small device, and they could vote for choice 1, choice 2, choice 3, or choice 4. Thus, sitting amongst your peers, you could see how everybody else would treat the patient. The person voting was not identified, so the anonymity let people say what they really thought. After this was done, either Dr. Nasreen or Dr. Sait or myself would discuss the options that were available. The group was very highly involved in the process. We had opinions from other specialists. We had people with a great deal of experience in these special problems. The breadth of the problems presented was that of gynecologic oncology. I would say that if, for an educational seminar, if you gave didactic lectures on the topics in gynecologic oncology, you would have to do that for 4 or 5 days, and people would fall asleep in the first hour. When you do it via the vehicle of a tumor board, you're able to take a disease specific to a patient, and the discussion is of the disease, and it is of the practicality of treating the patient. I think that many people here felt that this interactive, multidisciplinary tumor board was probably one of the better educational experiences for everyone involved. By that I mean I learned a great deal. I think that everybody else learned a great deal. As a mark of the importance of this meeting is the fact that although it was a gynecologic oncology tumor board, which generally will scare people away, this was highly attended by general gynecologists. One of the reasons for this was Dr. Sate took cases referred to him by some of these doctors and said, come, let us show you what we did and why we did it. I found that the buy-in, the enthusiasm of the general practitioners for what was done and the depth of thinking was very easy to see and reflected in their participation in the discussion. If I were to summarize the whole experience, I would say I feel that cooperation in doing good patient care can only be to the patient's benefit. That we did this nationally, and if you will, internationally, has shown all of us that we do things exactly the same way. There are social biases, there are family biases, there are many considerations that go into patient care, but the way you make your decision is the same. The standards that you use, we find, are the same. And I think that this meeting was so helpful to the community of physicians in the kingdom to know that other people are doing the same thing they're doing. It's also very reassuring to me to see how great things are here. And I hope it was very reassuring to everyone present that everything they're doing is exactly what I do. I don't represent a country, but I do represent a discipline and follow all of the guidelines.